Welcome back to Mondays with Margot, your heartfelt CFO. So excited to be back. I hope you all are doing amazing. This Monday, it started off chilly. I don't know about you guys, wherever you are tuning in. Mondays, I start off my day. I go to this pool class and I woke up chilly. And I was like, should I go? Should I not go? And I got to go, which I was really, really excited about. It's like a cardio class in the pool. And what's nice about it is that I found that the people who are doing laps and are in the pool, they're just overall happy and like calm and things. And like they're just like good and like together. Not to say that the rest of the world isn't, but anyways. So here we are back with Mondays with Margot, and I want to go over how to build a resilient tax team. If you are new to my channel or on the email list or however you are listening to this, welcome, welcome, lesson, welcome. I come here each week and I talk about different topics that are happening in the industry to help you grow your business, increase your profits, and all of the in between. And today's topic is how to build a resilient tax team. I found myself in the past few weeks talking about all the different roles in the tax world. And I gave this presentation a long time ago, and I want today to share it with you so that you can get an updated, fresh take on what's about when you are hiring for your own tax team. Now, you may not need all of the roles, you may need some of the roles, depending on where you are. Hopefully, today is going to give you that clarity. I'm known as your financial interpreter, business therapist, strategy whisperer, so not your typical accountant. I help thousands of entrepreneurs each week gain control of their numbers, financial confidence, and a whole heap more. And what I'm looking to do today is help you to move the needle forward in your team, in your business, so that you have the gaps on what you need to do around business and your family life. What we are also doing at Heartfelt CFO is that we are rewriting how businesses handle money and make empowered financial decisions. So taking from overwhelm to empowerment and a whole heap more, paying less taxes to even zero, and really just gaining in a whole nother way. So why does this matter? Many business owners confuse bookkeeping, accounting, and tax prep like all the time, even to myself. And gaps in the team, missed opportunities was just high risk. A resilient tax team builds accuracy, insight, and strategy. Let's talk about what a bookkeeper does. It's basically financial health. So you could record all the transactions, produces invoices and payroll, manages the ledger, prepares the financial statements. Now, I put basic here because it's basically just simple. It's categorization of income and expenses, take care of the ledger, and that's really what it does. Sometimes they manage it and maintain it, but generally it's more of maintaining. So it focuses on accuracy and organization. It's not necessarily high level of where it's going for taxes and all of these sorts of things. It's mainly for accuracy and organization. When we have bookkeeping, we have our 9 foundations on what we tell clients to do so that bookkeeping is organized, because it's not only the work that you do with us, it's also what you do on the other side, which actually matters even more. What does an accountant do? It's more of like a high level analysis, adjusting entries and reconciliations, review company financial statements, analyzing the operations, prepare income tax returns, and advises on decisions. So that analyzation, that adjusting, that review, that advising on decision, that takes it to the next step. Very rarely is it going to be that a bookkeeper does also accounting. It's generally a separation of roles. Now, the focus is interpretation and insight. Okay, so it's like, what is the data really telling us, right? Like these operation costs and the financial statements, what is it actually telling us? and providing us insight on what's actually happening. Numbers leave clues. Clues are your keys to your next steps. Now, a tax preparer, what do they do around compliance and filing? Ensures returns are accurate and on time, reduces tax burden with deductions and credits, navigates changes on tax law, and minimizes audit risks. So it's a reactive position, while at the same time, there's a lot of important components to it. When we reduce the audit risk as a tax preparer, it's basically following the rules, right? And making sure you file on time if you need extensions and these sorts of things. Reducing the tax burden with deductions and credits, it's really making sure that whatever you give them is being done. It's not like a high level in terms of tax planning. So I really just want you to see where the different roles play separate. Now, some people do combine, but to understand what each of them do is truly, truly important. Because sometimes people say they just random words and they don't even really know what they signed up for. So a tax preparer focuses on compliance and risk reduction. So I want to say that again. It's risk reduction and compliance. It doesn't mean risk zero. It just means it reduces it, because at the end of the day, it comes into the accuracy in bookkeeping, right? So as long as your bookkeeping is accurate, then when you do the returns, because prepares the income returns is at the accountant level, the insight that you get, now the tax preparer can actually do it. So if you don't have accurate bookkeeping, the tax preparer will have inaccurate information, and that's going to increase your audit risk. It all starts from the beginning. I hope you're seeing how this flows. Now, what happens in here, the analogy, the bookkeeper is the recorder, data entry and reporting, the accountant is the interpreter, and the tax preparer is kind of like the blueprint, the navigator through the rules and the compliant. Now, the overlap is where they work best as a team and not individually. So the bookkeeper feeds the data, and the accountant interprets it, and then the tax preparer ensures compliance. Now, at that level, everybody is doing their thing, but within the same team, they overlap to work together. Sometimes people have a bookkeeper in one place, they have a tax preparer in another place, and then somehow they're talking to an accountant in another place. When you have them all in the same place, the overlap, they work together and more heads together, and that way feeds your business and your family finances in a whole heap of another way. What each role adds value. So under 250,000 in revenue, we often suggest a bookkeeper. Over 250, we suggest an accountant, and always a tax preparer to protect you from penalties. Together, it's full financial clarity. Now, regardless, everybody needs a tax preparer. You need somebody to do the returns. We never suggest you to do it on your own. What we do suggest is whether you're going to have a higher level person do your accuracy of the work. If the accountant can do the bookkeeping, lots of times you can have that. But a bookkeeper to do on top of accountant, you may want to question more on how that's happening. Now, the common mistakes to avoid is thinking that your bookkeeper is the accountant, assuming the tax prep is the planning, not upgrading your team as revenue grows. Now, we happen to work with a client right now, and it's a really, really growing practice. And it's like between 8 and 12 million. And this business owner did a lot of this themselves, and they had a reactive position of an accounting team, was just a tax preparer. And they had no HR, they had very bad bookkeeping. I mean, you could only imagine at between that level of bookkeeping, really to keep afloat is, it's not that it's challenging, it's just that you don't have things to work from. So as you grow, you need to upgrade your team and possibly even have more than one of each because of the volume of what happens. So sometimes they work together, and that's what it's all about. Now, what we have at HCT is that I'm a CFO, and then with me as my team, we do bookkeeping, but it's all became CFO system. So what happens is that it becomes a CFO bookkeeping system. So as if I would have done the bookkeeping, our bookkeepers are doing the work, as if I would be managing that work and doing it myself. Now, as I don't do the tax returns, and we'll get to this in this presentation, is that we have a tax team that works together with us so that I can feed him the information and it flows within us. Now, if somebody takes the tax returns to another team, it becomes a burden on the client. If you stay within the firm, the flow is a lot easier. And what happens is you can manage a lot of things. We have a different client now who came on extension some time ago. And what happened is that it was the current work, but we were doing the past tax return. But we couldn't give him estimates for a while because what was happening is that with that is that so much of the meat of the information was missing because he was in different level of partnerships that to a degree he didn't even understand. So it was hard to tell him to go pay things because the numbers that we were coming out could be either really low, can be really high, it can be really zero too. Like in some of the ways, there are so many hypothetical situations. So that's why a CFO bookkeeping system where it's basically shortcutting the system where you get more in one and you cut through the whole noise of the process. Now, what we did is here is that I gave another in-depth webinar on this, on all of the roles, where it goes into the tax planning and all sorts of things. So I want you to scan that free video here on learning on that training. And also I invite you to take an assessment of where your business is at. I ask you a whole heap of questions as if we were on the phone, and it will help me give you a specific roadmap on where I can help you with your business and give you like specific information, some resources and different things. And that what happens is from this assessment, it's completely customized. It's completely customized, knowing your games and what you have and rules and those sorts of things and really where you're going. And this webinar, it continues to work on what I've talked about today. And I want you all to enjoy both of these resources and make sure that you use them. So I can't say it enough. I invite you to a call with me. I cannot wait to have you on the call so that we can help you have a resilient tax team. It doesn't mean you have to have it all because we house all of this in our firm. We meet you where you're at and take that first step with you so that you have what will bring you and your family and your business to that next level, or even to take you from confusion to profit wherever you are on this journey so that we can make it easier for you. Now, what I will tell you is that in addition, is that sometimes people think because of Heartfelt CFO is that I can't be, piercing or a little bit direct. With this work, there is a component to this of that where you have to be direct and action mean action. And as our processes and systems are really made so that you can digest them and that you can really run with them and make money and make this easier, take away the burden and make it easier. So what I will say is that take the assessment, do me a favor and jump on a call so that we can make sure that your next steps are properly aligned and that it will be mapped out for you, if or when you're ready, and anything that comes with that. There's a lot of options. So I hope today was helpful. Again, if any questions, let me know. The one I just want to close with is that tax prep and tax planning are two different things. And I'm going to continue to talk about this because what happens is that there's so much confusion when you go for a tax return at the end of the year or how tax prep is done, that I really want to end and put more clarity to this so that you have that information. And upgrading your team as your revenue grows, just like you want people to pay you for your fees, it's just how you have to think about to protect your money. If you don't protect your money is not going to protect you. It's still going to be in scarcity and it's still going to be in survival mode if you don't have the right people in place to protect you. So I'm going to put these up once more. You can always, we're going to put the links with the replay and make sure to get those. And then also feel free to jump on a call. I would love to help you and align your next steps. Always helpful to take that assessment. We're sharing that and I cannot wait to talk to you more. Send your questions. I trust that you enjoyed it today and have a great rest of your Monday.